Hey there, everybody. My name is Keno, and welcome back to your Montreal Canadiens franchise mode series here on the channel. Now, I want to quickly start out by saying I'm sorry if uploads have been a little inconsistent lately. Just going through some things. It's also been here in Canada. It's been Family Day weekend, and I wanted to spend some time with my family. Also, we had Valentine's Day last week, so I wasn't able to record or upload then. So it's been a little inconsistent lately. But I want to quickly say I'm sorry, and I also want to quickly say I'm thankful too, because you guys have got me to 100 subs, and I can't believe it, first of all, and I can't thank you guys enough. It's been absolutely amazing. There will be a quick update video coming out this week, and as I said, there will be streams coming soon, because I said if we get to 100 subscribers, we'll be doing streams of any type of content you guys want to see, probably NHL content, but you guys let me know, and we'll be doing some streams very shortly. Keep your eyes on the YouTube. I'll be doing a community post, or you can also follow me on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, at KFNO Sports. So let's get into this video now, and I'm honestly at a bit of a loss here. I had some ideas on what to do. I had a suggestion from a viewer named Adam who said that we should target a certain goalie in free agency, and I'm not thinking that's too bad of an idea, even though we have a bit of a backlog at the goaltending position currently with players like Gabriel Dag, who is currently listed as a backup goalie, Olivier Rodrigue, who's a starting goaltender, Emil Vini, who's listed as a backup goaltender, and then our newest acquisition, Eric 2, plus Jacob Fowler, who's a backup goaltender, and Caden Primo, who carried us this season, playing 73 games, notching 45 wins with an .896 save percentage and 2 shutouts. So we have quite a few goalies, and then hell, if we want to have some fun, we can also throw in Gaspard Lacroix, who killed it in the QMJHL, even though he's a high HL starter and probably is not ever going to get NHL ice time. We'll have to see what will happen, because I'm sorry, 8 shutouts, 912 save percentage, and 282 goals against average is pretty freaking stellar, honestly. But I did have a suggestion to grab a goalie, and I was looking at what to do with our defensive situation currently. We have quite a few defensemen. We have Hudson and Reinbacher, who are definitely going to be in that top 4, along with Caden Gooley. Arbor Jackeye does not want to stay with the team. He's asking for a hell of a lot of money, and we have contracts that we have to hand out. And then we have the up-and-coming Ezra Rabbit and Logan Hensler, with the newest addition, Tristan Leno, and the up-and-coming Theo Medano, plus Jordan Harris and Justin Barron. We have so many NHL caliber defensemen, it's scary. We could actually put up a pretty decent NHL caliber defense in the AHL with the Laval Rocket right now. So there's a lot of things to consider when it comes to the defense that we have currently. I'm honestly not sure what I want to do. As I said, if you weren't watching the last video or just kind of skimmed through it, we did turn off Fog of War just so I could get a full grasp of what we have, and we have something good. Now, I was originally considering trading away one of our players. Okay, obviously Arbor Jackeye is the key to go out. I think he's either got to go, or I don't mind playing the waiting game and doing a stalemate. If he has to sit out this season, he has to sit out this season. It'll suck, but it'll suck. I was considering moving out a Justin Barron, or maybe even flipping Tristan Leno. I don't want to move on for these top 3 of Reinbacher, Hudson, and Gooley, but I was looking at the options, and then I kind of took a step back and thought, what if Hensler and Rabbit don't do good? They're still going to be waiver eligible, so I can still send them down to the minors for at least the next year and a bit. What if they're not solid enough or ready for the NHL? I want to be able to have a replacement. Theo Medano currently isn't signed, so honestly, we don't have to even worry about him until next year. Really, our defense locks for next year are Leno, Gooley, Hudson, and Reinbacher. Whether Barron ends up finding himself with the Rocket or coming up as a depth defender in replacement of Hensler or Rabbit, we'll have to see. And even Arbor Jackeye, if by December we're in desperate need of a stalwart defenseman, I'll give whatever money we have for a 1-year deal on Jackeye. But as for right now, the defensive core is going to stand. I'm going to add some depth. So AHL kind of players, because I don't think we really need much. We don't really have anything past NHL caliber defenders. Maybe Zubov, who is also looking like he's going to be pretty damn good. I mean, he's already got 81 offensive awareness as a defensive defenseman, so he's going to be an interesting setup here. But past that, I don't think we need to add any game breakers, anything like that. As for forwards, you guys know it, I know it. We don't need to add a single thing, and there's not really anything to add or jeopardize the structure and solidity of our team via free agency. Okay, I don't even think there's a trade that we really need to make. We're fully set here. Christopher Ellison, our most recent 9th overall pick. And I did check, if you are watching the Butte Bandit series and you're a fan of that, you will also know Maxwell Ellison, who was our first ever draft pick in that series, who might be a bust, was also a 9th overall pick for that team. So it's a little weird that both times I've picked 9th overall, I've taken a player named Ellison. But yeah, no, we have a pretty strong deep forward core. I still want to add maybe a little bit of depth, because past our superstars, we don't really have much. I don't know how many roster space. Yeah, we have 13 open roster spaces right now, and we don't really even need any goaltenders. So as it stands, we're going to be pretty quiet at free agency. Now, I wanted to take a look again at players needing extensions, because we know that Sean Farrell is going to need one, and he's asking for quite a bit. We're going to have $13.52 million to spend currently for next season. Now the cap's going to jump up. That's going to affect that. But right now, we might be priced out of a $8 million third liner, because that's where Sean Farrell finds himself, really. Jan Mizak, he's going to be asking for quite a bit. Oh, actually 3.75. We might want to offer Jan Mizak something quick so that we can lock him in for a bit. Seth Shelley had a great second season, and now he's looking for quite a bit of money, and it's not getting nicer as we extend that term. So if you think about this logically, like I am right now, we are coming up on the like shrinking of our window. Okay, we're gonna have to say goodbye to some pieces at the end of the season. It's unfortunate that we had to sign Lane Hudson to $12.5 million. He better goddamn have an amazing season this season, like another $12.5 million season. No doubt that his most recent season was a $12.5 million season with 113 points in 82 games. If he doesn't have another like 90 point plus season, that $12.5 million is going to look a little scary. And Elias Pettersson, I'm nervous about his $13.5 million, especially the fact that it's another 6 years of it, but not concerned to the point that I think we need to make any moves. He still had a 100-point season, tied for the best season of his career. Guy was an absolute stud, and I don't think it's going to regress. He's still only 28. I don't see us being in a panic situation right now. I mean, he fits perfectly with our core of Suzuki and Caulfield. Slavkovsky has come up. He's been dominant, and we still have him for another 2 years. So technically, I think we have about a 2-year window, because then Slavkovsky, Hudson come up. We're already going to be struggling with Mizak, Shelley, Farrell needing contracts. Guys, I'm going to play it soft at this free agency. I'm not going to make any big moves. There was a suggestion in the comments to sign Lukas Dostal, and I was considering it to bring in a big, like, good goaltender. He was rocky though, but if we look at it in a backup role, he did pretty good. Even as a starting goaltender, not this most recent season, but the season before that, he was pretty solid. He gets wins. I mean, he played 71 games this most recent season, had 37 wins, 28 losses, and 5 overtime losses with 1 shutout. But that .888 save percentage, that scares me away. I am heavily considering it, but I wouldn't give him 2 years. I wouldn't give him the 2 years that he's looking for. And look, his cap drops down significantly. If he can take a low ball deal, then I might consider it. But then I would have to move out a goalie. We could easily run with a tandem of Rodrigue and Primo for this season. My worry, if we're being honest, would be that one of them is a little faulty. If Primo doesn't get the job done, then we have to rely on one of the rookies. And as we know, rookies are a little flaky in this game. I'm considering bringing in Lukas Dostal. I really am. I'm just nervous. I mean, there's other goalies available. Pyotr Kochetkov did fairly well. 6 shutouts this most recent season. Yeah, he can be a dynamo, and I would love to bring him in, honestly. And there's some good depth goalies here. I mean, even John Gibson's available. He didn't do that great. Our former Montreal Canadiens Sam Montembeault is available, and I hated that we had to move on from him, but he only had 1 decent season with the Stars, and that was as a backup, really. And it was not that amazing. I mean, last season he did pretty well, again, as a backup, though. So, and you can see why we moved on from him with the Montreal Canadiens. He just really couldn't find his footing with our team. Now, there's a few things to consider, and I will be honest. I am still thinking about Dostal. I know I was just talking about it. I was thinking about Dostal, but as I've mentioned a few times in both this series, the Toronto Maple Leafs series, and the Butte Bandit series, all 3 of these series will be coming to an end within the next few weeks, okay? So we are going into win now mode. Waiting for a goaltending prospect to develop, that could be dicey, okay? Lucas Dostal, as the comment said, would be a perfect bridge goalie. I know he had a rocky last season, but he would be a perfect bridge goalie, either giving 1 or 2 years to just solidify our goaltending situation and give us that like starting depth, because we haven't really had starting depth in quite a while. We had Aiden Hill and Marc-Andre Fleury. They weren't really starters. It actually led to us trading away Aiden Hill, relegating Marc-Andre Fleury to the minors, and bringing in Olivier Rodrigue to back up Caden Primo. Okay, so there's a lot of options here. Is Dostal the one that I really want to sign? I think if I'm gonna go for a win now goalie, it's Pyotr Kochetkov. I mean, my nerve about him is that he had a not winning season. He had 6 shutouts, but 29 wins, 30 losses, and 2 overtime losses. A 901 save percentage, and last year the 910 with a winning record. If we put him behind our defense, I want to know what he could do. Now he's looking for 5 years. I said I didn't want to give out any term, especially with who we have to hand contracts to, with Sean Farrell, Seth Shelley, and I can't remember the other one. But with who I have to hand contracts to, I'm a little nervous about giving out term. Okay, I don't really want to give out more than 1 year. With Kochetkov, it might be a different story. I wouldn't mind signing him to this. The San Jose Sharks are interested in him. I don't think this is a bad offer. I'm going to give him 2 years, $6.5 million. No, 2 years, $6.25 million. So we're going to offer Pyotr Kochetkov 2 years at $6.25 million. Now I'm gonna go 6.5. I kind of really want him on the team, because we haven't seen what this team can do with stable goaltending, and I'm still scared of term when it comes to these goalies. Now, I think this might be the idea. I think he is the perfect backstop to get us over that hump. If we win with him, perfect. Signed, sealed, delivered. We're done. We're good to go. We can possibly end off this franchise mode series having gotten the Montreal Canadiens a win. I would like to do it by growing our own talent. I'd love to do it by having Gabriel Dag clutch up for us and get us the win. But if we can get it a little sooner, if we can get it this season or next, come on, I gotta do it. I gotta do it. When you have a goalie of this caliber available, you have to throw money at him. I'm throwing money at him. 2 years, $6.5 million. We'll see if Pyotr Kochetkov signs. He's going to take up most of our cap, and aside from that, I don't really have anything else that we need to offer money to. Arbor Xhekaj is available, Jaden Struble is available. He is a UFA, but we don't really need another defender, and we don't have the $6.1 million he's looking for. Now, it does drop when you change the term, but I'm not giving players term right now. It's just not happening. When it comes to prospects, there's really just nobody available. Aside from, no, he's low top 6, so there is not really anybody available. Everyone's already really developed. Leo Loof already developed. Ryan Johnson is a depth defender, and he looks good. But asking for 2.1 million is not really my cup of tea. Now, when you change the term, he does drop his asking price. If I'm honest, I'm gonna lowball him. 1 year, 1.25 million. And I know we don't need another NHL caliber defender, but it couldn't hurt. I mean, why not give the Laval Rocket an NHL caliber defense? I don't see the problem with it. So we're going to give him a contract there. But aside from that, I'm not going to be giving out any other big contracts or like any other $1 million plus contracts. I'm going strictly depth defenders and the such. And I want to see if we can add anyone cheap. Like Travis Dermott is available for cheap. Darren Radish is available for cheap. And he's not too bad either. What do you have? He had 38 points with the Iowa Wild last year. Yeah, I'm adding him. Oh, he's listed as a top 6 defender, though, but he's only asking for $800,000. You know what? I'll give him a contract. He's not asking for a lot. We'll see what we can do. 1 year, no, 2 years. 2 years, $850,000. That's fine by me. I'm also going to give Lucas Johansson a 2-year, $850,000 contract. Emil Viro is a pretty interesting case, as he's only looking for league minimum currently, but he has the potential to grow. We don't need him to. We have defenders, but why not? I'm also going to bring in Maxence Gwinnett. I think that's how you say it. Maybe it's Gwinnett. But we're going to bring him in, another 2-year, $850,000, and that'll settle up the Laval Rocket for the next 2 years. I don't think we need to add anything else really right now. Maybe one more depth piece. Declan Carlisle. I've honestly never heard of this player before, but he's got pretty decent stats. He's just asking for 1.2 million, and I'm not really interested in that. It does change if we give him term, though. So we'll give him 2 years, 800, not 2 years, 10 million, 2 years, 850,000, and we'll see if he accepts that. As for forwards, we've seen what's available. There's a lot of decent players, but do we need one? Not really. I mean, Tyler Seguin, 84 overall, asking for under $3 million. Pretty interesting. Logan Couture asking for under $3 million. Defensive category is almost non-existent, but he's also pretty interesting. Brad Marchand asking for under $5 million. 66 points last season with the Bruins. Not really that interested. Again, I'm just not interested in handing out a lot of money. I wouldn't mind bringing in NHL impact forwards that could possibly come up in case of an injury, because we always get slammed by injuries, but I'm not paying out that type of money right now. So we've gone to two-way, and I wouldn't mind bringing in a few of these players. And right off the bat, Dmitry Voronkov, that wouldn't be too bad, offering him a 1 or 2 year contract. Yeah, we'll give him 2 years, 850,000. We'll just 2 years, 850,000 for everybody. Akil Thomas, wouldn't mind bringing you back. He's got suitors, so maybe he'll go somewhere else. Honestly, I think we had Trent Frederic with the team. I'm gonna bring him back 2 years, 900,000. That's the first different contract we've given. Andrew Kopp looks great. Defensive category galore. Good puck skills, good offensive awareness, good physicality, and guess what? He's asking for $975 over 2 years. I'll give him 1 year, $975, and we'll bring him on. Pavel Regenda has pretty decent defensive and aggressive stats, and I wouldn't mind adding him as a fourth line option, so we'll bring him in. And the last one, I love him. I think I have him in almost every series. We're bringing in Maverick Bourque. I also just saw that Tristan Robbins is available. 32 goals, 14 assists with the San Jose Barracuda last year. We already have 13 contracts offered out. There's also Brandon Coe. He looks pretty decent. I wouldn't mind bringing those two in. Oh, Jacob Perreault, Alex Lafreniere. Oh, there's a lot of players here that I'm missing. Sam Colangelo. Oh, now I'm upset with the contracts we offered out because we just gave them to kind of veterans that we didn't really need. I've made my bed though, and I'm going to lay in it. We're going to stick with this team, and we're going to see who accepts the contracts. I want to make sure quickly though that I don't already have 6 goalies signed to contracts, because then Kochetkov won't sign. Nope, we just have 5. Dag, Rodrigue, Fini, Fowler, and Primo. I thought we only had 5, but I was a little scared that I'd forgotten about somebody. I mean, when you have as many goaltenders as we do, you can tend to forget about somebody. But if we do get Kochetkov, one of these goaltenders will have to go. All right, and I think we're ready to see if these players will sign. I did offer out a coaching contract just to kind of shore things up. We're still staying with Brody Conley as our head coach because the team has done stellar with him as the head coach. I think he's one of the most successful head coaches I've had in NHL franchise mode series since they've introduced them. Aside from one that I used to have with a Winnipeg Jets mode that I did last year, obviously an offline mode because I wasn't doing NHL content then, but that guy had like a 67 win percentage or like 71 win percentage. It was crazy. That team was dominant, but we did like 5 President's Trophies and only 1 Stanley Cup. So a little disappointing, but let's go. We're going to see if these players do sign with us. No, I'm not accepting any trades right now. We're standing pat until I know. So Francisco Shea does accept our NHL associate coach position. All right, let's see. Did they accept the contract? So Trent Frederic is back. Ryan Johnson's back. Andrew Kopp is here. Why did I say back? Darren Radish has joined the team. Maxence Gwinnett has joined. Dmitry Voronkov has accepted. Emil Viro, Lucas Johansson, Akil Thomas, Pavel Regenda, Declan Carlisle, Maverick Bourque all accept the contracts we handed out. Jamie Alexiak, no, I don't want him. Don't want him. Now, I think we're okay. I think we're good to accept the contract. Like, I think we have space for Pyotr Kochetkov to accept his contract. If he does, he might go to the Sharks. Let's find out now. And fate has spoken. Pyotr Kochetkov doesn't go to the Sharks. He goes to the Toronto Maple Leafs. So, unfortunately, we have to face this butthead. Oh, crap. Lucas Dostal is still available. His asking price hasn't dropped. I mean, I don't think he is as stable of a goaltender as Pyotr Kochetkov was. I'm willing to give it a try. He's asking for 2 years. I'm going to give him 1 year at 4.5 million. I'm going to lowball him a bit because I do want to keep some cap. Okay, it's plain and simple. So we're going to give Pyotr Kochetkov, or not, sorry, I'm jumbling up every name. Lucas Dostal, a 1 year, $4.5 million contract, because I think the other goalies will be ready for next year. And we'll see if Dostal helps. If not, another trade chip. That's plain and simple it. But let's see, does he accept that contract that we've offered him? I'm really upset that Pyotr Kochetkov went to the Toronto Maple Leafs. That's just so unfortunate for us. Oh, Zach Werenski from Mason St. Louis in 2 seconds. I'm not trading St. Louis, sorry, and I'm not taking on $9.5 million, even though it is 1 year. That's tempting. That's tempting, but I'm not doing it. And Lucas Dostal accepts the lowball offer. He has now joined the team as another starting goaltender for the season. So we have 6 NHL caliber goaltenders now. And look at this. Jacob Fowler to the Ottawa Senators for a 3rd round pick. Tempting, but no, I'm not I don't want him to be a star for the Senators. I don't want any interdivisionary play. No, not happening. So I'm going to jump to the regular season, jump to the preseason, sorry, see how our team's looking, how much bloating we have with this roster, and if I have to, make a few trades. And if we have time, because I am running on a tight schedule, I have to try and record as many videos right now as I can. So if we have time, I'll sim about 10-15 games of the season. But let's jump right now to the preseason. And look at this. Arbor Xhekaj accepts the qualifying offer. I feel another year with the franchise would be good for my career, so I gratefully accept. And you know what? Welcome back, Arbor Xhekaj. He's back, I think, for 1 year at $3.675 million, if I'm not mistaken. So welcome back. And here's the trade I will accept. Jacob Fowler in a 3rd next year to the Seattle Kraken for a 3rd and a 4th in this coming NHL draft. I don't have to face him constantly. I won't have to face him at least in the first 3 rounds of the Stanley Cup playoffs. So Jacob Fowler, I'm sorry you didn't get a chance with the team. I know in real life, I think you're going to be a star for the Montreal Canadiens. We have other stars on the way. Sayonara, Jacob Fowler. All right, and the lines are set, and if this is not one of the most powerful Montreal Canadiens of at least the cap era, I don't know what would be. This team is unbelievably stacked. We have Seth Shelley with Suzuki and Caulfield on that top line. Now that's subject to change only because of the line chemistry boost that happens if I put Slafkovsky on that top line. But my reasoning for not putting Slafkovsky on the top line is because him and Patterson had great chemistry last year, and Caulfield is already the trigger man of that top line, Slafkovsky being the trigger man of the second line. So do you understand what I'm saying? Where it's like Suzuki and Shelley setting up Caulfield, Waugh and Patterson setting up Slafkovsky. That's kind of the way that I want it to be. So we're going to keep it like that. Slafkovsky, Patterson, and Waugh on the second line. Mizak, Farrell, and Doc on the third line. And then Harvey Pinard with Tim Algren and Jesse Jalonen on that fourth line. Guys, you're about to see something a little crazy. And honestly, it gets crazier. So defensively, it's Hudson Xhekaj. Xhekaj is now up to an 85 overall, and I want to give him the ice time to see what he can really do. My only concern is that with the amount of penalties he draws, he's going to be more of a detriment than a boost on that top pairing. So we're going to see how he does, especially with the likes of our superstar defender, Lane Hudson. Second pairing is Logan Hensler with David Reinbacher. Now, when I did best lines for like assistant coach edits lines, Logan Hensler was the top pairing defender. They wanted him over Lane Hudson. My reasoning for not putting him there is because Lane Hudson's amazing, and Logan Hensler can't freaking skate. He can't. He just can't. So I want to put him really with someone who can skate, and putting him with Xhekaj wouldn't work. So it would be Logan Hensler and David Reinbacher on that second pair, and they're a +5 already. And then Gouli and newest addition Tristan Leno on that third pair as the starting pair, and we'll see how they do. I want to give Gouli as much lines as possible, but you can see Hensler jumped to an 83, Xhekaj up to an 85, and then scratched, we even have Ezra Rabbit, who's jumped up to an 82. He can at least skate, so there's something there. We also have Xavier Simoneau as a scratch to possibly get in case of injuries. And then Justin Barron's probably going to find himself in the minors, because our goaltending backlog got crazier, guys. It got crazier. You ready? Gabriel Dagg has jumped to an 87 starting goaltender as a medium elite potential goalie. He is almost on the verge of being elite goalie. And I'm sorry, I got to give him the net. We have Lucas Dostal backing him up currently. But it gets crazier because down in the minors, it's Rodrigue and Vinny. Rodrigue is an 84. Vinny has jumped to an 85 starting goaltender. I don't even know what Jacob Fowler would have been if we'd kept him on. But this team looks scary. So as you can see, I have already sent Justin Barron down to the minors. We've called up Vinny. We're going to try him out for the preseason. But honestly, it's shocking that our starting tandem of Primo, who was the starter last season, and Rodrigue, who is our acquired backup and plan to be the tandem this season with Primo, are now our fourth and fifth ranked goalies on the team behind our superstar prospects of Dagg, Dostal, and Vinny. And no, I did not expect Vinny, who was drafted in 2024, to have developed at a slower rate than Dagg, who's drafted just the next year with the 29th overall pick. So Guys, we have some stellar goaltending and a big decision to make, because already Lucas Dostal doesn't need to be on this team. He really doesn't. I don't know what to do about the goaltending backlog here. I've never had to really deal with this. We're going to do best AHL lines for now. But this team is ready to go. We're going to run with Dag as our starting goaltender for a bit of this preseason here and see what he can do. So let's sim to the next preseason game. I'll do the preseason and the first 5 games of the season in this video, and that will be it for us. And I will not be slow simming any of the preseason games because they're just preseason games. It really won't matter too much. I will slow sim the first few real regular season games. So against the Detroit Red Wings here in the preseason, it's a 4-1 loss. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Buffalo Sabres, it's a 7-3 win. Very good. Patterson turned it on against the Senators. It's a 5-0 win. So Dag now has a shutout after getting a little bit of a taste of the NHL action. We are going to swap him out now, though, for Dostal to see what we have there. But Dag, 3 games, 2 wins, 924 save percentage, and 1 shutout. So that's just the preseason. But let's see, against the Toronto Maple Leafs here, who now have Pyotr Kochetkov, we win that one 5-4 in the shootout. Against the Boston Bruins, Dostal was a little banged up in that first game. He's fully healed. We lose 3-2. And now, you know what? I gotta see at least what we have with Emil Vinny. If Emil Vinny gets tanked here, then well, I don't know. It feels wrong sending a starting goaltender down to the minors. Dostal was a little rocky in his starts, honestly. So we'll throw Emil Vinny in and see what we have here. It might be Dag and Rodrigue, Dag and Primo. It's going to be a goaltending revolving door. Against the Florida Panthers, it's a 6-5 win. And final game of the preseason against the Tampa Bay Lightning. I think we're cap compliant. Let's see how this goes here. It's an 8-5 win. So we won those games, and Patterson did freaking crazy with 16 points through 7 games in the preseason. I wonder how many goals Slavkovsky had. Yeah, 7 goals in 7 games. So those two are a match made in heaven. Goaltending, yeah, Vinny did really rough, and Dag came in relief and did amazing. Guys, we might have a star on our hands. We might have a bona fide star. Screw it. We're running the rookies. Dag and Vinny are going to be the starting goaltenders to start the season. We'll give them both a little bit of ice time, but for right now, guys, this team is ready to go. So I think my number one concern through the preseason was the amount of goals we allowed. I don't know if that's necessarily a problem of the goaltending or a problem of how much the other team was getting quality shots on us, or how many shots they're facing. I can always break that down by seeing how many saves the goalies made. But we're here, beginning of the regular season, at the Bell Center versus the Winnipeg Jets. Let's see how we do. We're going to slow sim this game and see how Gabriel Dag does with his first taste of NHL action. First period. That is not a great sign. Kyle Connor notches the first goal of the season against us. Josh Morrissey gets another with just 2 minutes left in the first period. And the shots were 21-4. So Dag faced 4 shots and let in half of them. And we pounded the Jets with 21 shots. And I'm assuming it was Hellebuck who stopped all of them. Not a great start, but let's see. Second period. And we bounce back. Tim Almgren gets the first goal of your Montreal Canadiens 2027-2028 season on none other than Connor Hellebuck around the halfway mark of the second period. Shots are 31-16 now for your Montreal Canadiens. Third period, we're going to quick sim this one because I am running out of time. Let's see. Third period. And it's a barn burner, but the Jets do prevail. Ehlers puts the Jets up 3-1. Caulfield makes it 3-2. Morrissey makes it 4-2, and that's the game. I think, actually, no. Yeah, that's the game-winning goal because Dak gets a power play goal, making it 4-3, bringing us within 1. But it's too little too late as your Montreal Canadiens drop their home opener 4-3 to the Winnipeg Jets. Shots were 45-27 for your Montreal Canadiens. All right, so after our season opener and home opener, David Reinbacher is now out for about 2 weeks. I think maybe just a week with a bruised arm. So we're going to get Ezra Rabbit into the lineup. We're just going to do head coach replaces player. So yeah, it's about a week. So he should be back probably after game 2. But we're going to do game 2 here. Oh no, he won't be back till after game 4. Okay, so we're going to do game 2 here. A quick sim against the Columbus Blue Jackets to see what we really have with this team. Let's see. Joshua Waugh now is out with a separated shoulder till the new year. And injury bug is right away nailing us. I'm gonna do replace this player right now. We're gonna get Xavier Simoneau into the lineup and see what he can do. But it's a 4-3 loss there against the Columbus Blue Jackets, and currently Jan Mizak is the team's leading scorer against the Ottawa Senators here in Game 3 of the season. We're currently 2-0. So you know what? I do have my rule. If you drop 2, you lose the starting role, and Gabriel Dagg in his first 2 starts has dropped both of them with an 843 save percentage. So it's just a small sample size, but we're going to get Emil Vini into his first NHL action, and because it's his first NHL game, and his first NHL game I believe for Xavier Simoneau as well, we are going to slow sim this one and see how the team does. I think we already had Ezra Rabbit's first game against Columbus Blue Jackets, but let's see how this new look team does with Vini in net first period. And that's just not a good sign. Xavier Simoneau gets his first NHL goal, if I'm not mistaken, so that's great. But then Thomas Chabot on the power play, followed by Roby Jurventi and Brady Tkachuk, put the Senators up 3-1. Shots are 12-10 for your Montreal Canadiens, but we are trailing in this one after the first. Second period. We get within one, a power play goal by Nick Suzuki, and it seems like the team has kind of rallied around the young netminder. See if we can get him a win, because we're currently winless on the season, and I want to change that here, but it's all going to depend on this third period. Let's see, can we rally back? Third period. We do not. Dylan Sandberg adds another. The Ottawa Senators win this one 4-2. So we've pretty much outplayed every one of our opponents and lost every game, and right now the rookies don't look like they're ready. So we're going to give Vinny one more game, see if he can get his footing against a pretty much unbeaten Calgary Flames team. They've only lost in overtime so far. Let's see how we do against them, but we're off to a rough start. I'm going to slow sim this one to see how the team does, but let's see. First period. Guys, this is not looking good. Arbor Xhekaj, of all people, gets a goal, but then Connor Zary, Andrew Mangiapane, and Jesper Fast add goals for the Flames, making it 3-1. Shots are 19-6. So for the first time that we've seen, we got heavily outplayed. Let's see how we rebound in the second period. And we really don't. Yuri Slavkovsky adds a goal for us, but then Kirill Marchenko re-adds the 2-goal lead for the Calgary Flames. They're outshooting us 28-17, and I think this one's in the books. Let's see, third period. And once again, we get within one, a power play goal by Kirby Dach, but then Matt Coronado with the empty net makes it 5-3 for the Flames, and we have dropped all 4 of our first games of the season, and that is not a good sign. And right off the bat, we can see that top line is not doing very well. The second line's also struggling a bit. Third line also struggling quite a bit. Actually, the whole team is in general struggling when you're losing 4 in a row. Lane Hudson with 2 points in 4 games. Yuri Slavkovsky with 1 goal in 4 games, but 12 penalty minutes. And right off the bat, you know what I said? I was nervous about him being a liability on the penalty. So we're going to knock him down to that second pairing. So we're going to knock down Arbor Xhekaj to the second pairing, put Ezra Rabbit with him, and bump up Logan Hensler to that top line with Lane Hudson, see what can happen there. And then Goulet and Leno have done really nothing, and I'm upset with that. So you know what? We're just going to switch things up, put them on the second pairing, have Rabbit and Xhekaj as the starting third pair, and see if that changes things. But goaltending-wise, we have really no goaltending. Both of them have a 406 goals against average. Both of them have been shelled. Vini more so than Dagg, but we're going to give it one more try. Dagg's going to go back in net for Game 5, and we're going to see if we can get our first win of the season against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Really? Of all teams? The good thing is that David Reinbacher is back, so all the line changes I just made defensively don't matter because we're going to get Reinbacher back into the lineup. So Reinbacher's on that second line, reunited with Caden Goulet. It's Hudson and Hensler on the top, and then Xhekaj and Leno as the starting third pair. And we'll see what they can do. We'll see if maybe these line changes can help. But now we're up against a pretty strong Toronto Maple Leafs team. We know they have a really good goaltender in net, and we got to really just show him that he should have signed with us. Well, he shouldn't have. We have too many goaltenders now, but let's see. Final game of this video, because, guys, I'm in a bit of a panic mode here, and I need your guys' help. I need my assistant general manager's help to see what we can do with this team. But first period. And for once, we have simmed a period where we are leading after 1. Seth Shelley opens the scoring on Pyotr Kochetkov, and we are currently also leading in shots 16-12 after 1 period. So let's see if we can keep this momentum going. Second period. And we do not. Tyler Bertuzzi notches one on Dag, followed by Matthew Nyes to close out the period. So they opened the period with scored. They opened the period with scoring, and they ended the period with scoring, and they currently lead us 2-1. We are out shooting them 24-20, but it's a tight game. Let's see, can we bounce back and take the lead and win this game and get our first win of the 2027-2028 NHL season? Third period? And we don't. Holy crap. Kochetkov stoned us. We outshot them 35-30. But we lose 2-1. But, you know, there is a silver lining there. Dag did pretty damn good against a powerful team. But we are 0-5-0 to start this season. And I'm not sure what to do, guys. I can't believe that we are losing as many games as we're losing. I definitely got to make some line changes. It definitely sucked to lose both Reinbacher and Waugh right off the bat. But we're going to have to see if this team can rebound on their own, or if maybe the goaltenders can find their groove and get the season going. If not, then they're both going to find themselves in the minors. Sorry, banging the mic. They're both going to find themselves in the minors, and we'll run Dostal, Rodrigue, and Primo. We'll see what happens. In the next video, we will be giving Dostal his first NHL ice time. You know what? Right away, we're going to put him in the backup space so we don't forget. We're going to give Dag one more shot in the next video, but that's it for this one. I'm sorry the team's off to a rocky start. I did not expect that. We're in win now mode, and this team, unfortunately, isn't looking like they're going to win. But it's just 5 games in. We could go 75-0 or 77-0 for the rest of the season and do absolutely insane. We just don't know what the future holds for us. Hopefully this team can find their groove. I don't want to make a coaching change. That's just not an option. We probably are going to move Dak up to that second line and see if he can get some production there. But that's it for this one. If you guys have any suggestions, leave them in the comments down below. I also want to, once again, thank you guys for 100 subs. You guys are absolutely amazing. We're just coming up on 2 months with this channel, and I can't believe that we got 100 subs. You guys are amazing. You guys are absolutely amazing. Now we're on the road to 500. So help me out. Help me out. Share the channel. If you're not subscribed currently, consider subscribing. If you don't like it after a month, you can unsubscribe. I won't hold it against you. I understand some people have different tastes. I might not be your taste. I understand that. I shouldn't be referring to myself as your taste. That kind of sounds weird. But thank you guys so much for joining me. And I'll see you guys as we take this team through the rest of the season to the trade deadline and see if we can get this team rebounded, because we are running out of time. I'm in win now mode with this Montreal Canadiens team, because when you're a big market Canadian team like the Canadiens are, they're always in win now mode if you have a capable roster. Always. You always have to be looking to win, because these fan bases up here are brutal. They are brutal. There's no doubt. And I think anybody can agree with me. You could say the Leafs are the worst fan base. You can say the Oilers are the worst fan base. The Canucks, the Canadiens. Hell, you could even throw in the Bruins there. But no matter what, the Canadian fan bases are the most dedicated, like in general, not the Montreal Canadiens. The Canadian fan bases are the most dedicated, loyal, and crazy-ass fans you'll ever find. No matter what team they root for, they are crazy as hell. And I think you can agree with that. But thank you guys. We got to win. We got to turn this team around, and we'll do that in the next one. I'll see you guys in the next video.